Well, I said I'd do it. I said I'd do one more episode, and by George, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do this episode because who am I to lie to you, beautiful people? Also, I'm not gonna do Majin Buu. I looked at the download time. It's gonna be like half an hour before I can even think about doing it. I mean, the file's pretty much ready, but I have to like set up the entire Visual Boy Advanced thing and all the settings again, make it set so it'll save the game in the game, but then I also gotta like save it on the Visual Boy because sometimes the files just die. And by that I mean they stop like having save data. It just deletes everything on its own. So, but yeah, I gotta like reset everything. I'll just save it for like next week maybe. Anyways, with this running through my head, I find myself in front of the nurse's office, still brooding as he checks out Emmy. Emmy comes bounding out of the door, gives me a kiss, and darts off to shower, I assume. Meanwhile, the nurse beckons me into his office to give me the ritual once over. Any problems today? Nah, I even pushed it a little harder today than I have in the past, and I seem to be able to handle it. That's uncharacteristically risky coming from you, Hisao. You've been hanging out with Emmy too much. She's rubbed off on you, and not necessarily in a good way. At the mention of Emmy's name, I can't help but frown unhappily in spite of my efforts of control. Well now, this is new, don't you think? Last I checked, your usual response to Emmy's name was a grin, not a frown. What exactly happened between you two? Because Emmy doesn't seem to be in on it, whatever it is. She looked more relaxed than I've ever seen her in weeks. Or than I've seen her in weeks, which is unusual for this time of the year. What do you mean by that? By what? For this time of the year, I keep trying to find out what's been bothering her, but she clams up as soon as I broach the subject. Then last night she said, let me guess, she won't tell you because she can't trust you. And now you're crushed because you thought that the two of you were so much more than she seems to think, right? More or less. How the heck did you know? Hisao, I'm the nurse. It's my job to know these things. Plus, I've known Emmy for long enough to know that she'd try to do something like this. It's just like her. She says this is in the sort of half affectionate, half frustrated tone that would seem more appropriate if he had a cigarette dangling from his lips. As it is, he seems willing to make do with a pen. Look, you mind if I give you some advice? I know what the problem is, so I don't want advice, but Hisao literally seems stupid enough to not know what the problem is. So let's spell it out for him and whoever still hasn't figured it out despite the fact that I've explained it. Sure, why not? What was it Muto said yesterday? If you can't observe the thing, then observe what's around it. Worth a shot. The nurse knows Emmy better than I do, I'll wager. Sure, I'm open to suggestions. Honestly, I'm kinda lost. I've got no idea how to deal with this. I never would have guessed. He grins while he says this. I think he's kidding. Look, here's the deal. Emmy is stubborn. You should know that by now, and if you don't, then you're pretty unobservant. But I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt here. I'm so grateful. Anyway, if she's decided that she doesn't want to talk about what happened, then she's not going to talk about what's happened. Has she said anything about what's been bothering her, even a hint? Well, she did say she'd been having nightmares about the accident. Really? You're making progress then, that's good. Well, I guess I can fill you in on this without violating my strict non-interference policy when it comes to Emmy making stupid decisions. The anniversary of her accident is coming up soon. She gets depressed about it, or around this time, because it was a pretty traumatic event, considering what she lost. That's the other thing. She acted like she's lost more than just her legs. What happened? Whoa, nope, not going there. You'll have to ask someone else about that, because that's the whole can of worms I'm not about to open. If Emmy wants you to know, she'll tell you in her own time. You've just got to be patient, that's all. Why are you even helping me with all this? Because you're good for her. She trusts you even if you don't think she does. And you've got the best chance out of anyone at this school right now to help her through this time of year. She won't accept my help, but she might accept yours if you don't screw it up. So don't screw it up. Got it? I open my mouth to respond, but a knocking sound at the door interrupts me. Hey, you guys still in there? Just a moment, Emmy. Give us a second to get our pants back on. The door bursts open and Emmy glares knives at the door. Asshole. Didn't mean to get your hopes up. Hey, can we leave me out of this? Anyway, what's up, Emmy? Forget something? I try to take a more cheerful tone with her. No need to upset her. Two can play the everything's fine game. Actually, I forgot to ask you something. Oh, what's that? Whoops. Stop! Do you want to come with me on a trip to my house? And I was making dinner and I thought you might want to join us. Well, of course, I accept. Ha! And he punches the nurse in the arm playfully. Not you, idiot. You were over last week. I was talking to Hisao. Oh, how interesting. Meeting the parent. Wait. Yeah, meeting the parent. Come on. Come on! Love to go, Emmy. Thanks. Come on! The nurse raises an eyebrow, but says nothing. Great, I'll be in my room. Swing by after you shower and change into something clean, and we'll grab the bus. Sounds good. I'll see you in a bit. This time, it's me who leans in for a quick kiss before darting off to my room. What an interesting development. Maybe we're getting closer after all. Maybe Emmy's finally ready to open up a little. Or maybe she's just being polite and a free meal seems like a good way to apologize for last night. Great, now I can't decide whether to be excited, nervous, or depressed. Sounds like my life. Ah, just kidding, I'm not depressed, even though I'm not depressed. I settle for a combination of all three and hop in the shower. Awesome. This is like actually a good spot to kind of end things, you know? So, thank you for watching, everybody, in this little session. Have a good one. Bye. Come on!